It's time now for another installment of Will We Fix Portland's Broken Government? If it was a game show, it'd be a pretty sad one. This week it features the mayor doing a spectacular flip-flop. More about that in a moment. The Portland Charter Review Commission got its official ballot title this week, which I know means nothing to you, but it's an important procedural step to get the proposed change on the ballot on November 8th. In case you missed it, the Charter Commission spent the last year and a half studying how Portland's government structure could be changed to make it better for everyone. They put together a package that includes hiring a city manager to oversee all the city bureaus, carving the city into 4 sections and electing 3 council members from each using ranked choice voting. That would expand the city council, by the way, from 5 to 12 members, and also taking the mayor off the city council, but giving the mayor the power to oversee the city manager and to cast a vote to break ties on the council. Which brings us to the mayor's impressive gymnastics. Back on April 8th, I had a chance to interview Ted Wheeler. One of the things that I asked him about was this Charter Commission. He enthusiastically supported it and any changes that the group suggested.
There's a bifurcation and a lack of accountability in too much of this. And so I support the work of the Charter Review Commission. Whatever they put on the ballot will be a definite improvement over the status quo, and I will absolutely support it.
Well, turns out the mayor's absolute support was absolutely weak. Now he's sort of against it without quite saying he's a no vote. Yesterday I wanted to interview him and talk about this, but instead we got a statement that reads, "Ultimately, I hope to be able to support the charter reform measure on the ballot in November. However, as I said in council recently, I do have concerns regarding elements of the measure. I am also increasingly concerned about the mayor's lack of veto power. If the mayor has no veto power or check and balance relative to the legislative body, there will be a lack of transparency and accountability." So there's that. I talked with another council member, Maps, in the recent past, and while he's not saying he's no, he's saying he's not decided, and he's clearly leaning against it, though. He even created a PAC that's going to sponsor educational sessions on the change to explain it to voters. They claim it's not going to be negative, but come on. We also got a joint statement from the council members Rubio and Hardesty. They would not say where they stand on the change either, but they wrote, "We'll share our unique perspectives as the elected leaders charged with making Portland city government work, but we also want to give Portlanders the space to reach their own informed conclusions. As always, we are honored to serve Portlanders, and we will support and execute the will of the voters." Well, that's nice to hear that they'll support and execute the will of the voters. I guess actually it'd be big news if they came out and said they're going to ignore the will of the voters. Watch for that. Hasn't happened. I also asked Dan Ryan's office where he stands on this charter change. He sounds like he's leaning toward being against it. And there's this quote that we got from his office. "The fact that today I am in a I don't know place like most voters, there's a good chance you'll vote no, but I'm seriously in an I don't know place." I hope you can make sense of that. I guess it means he doesn't know what he's going to do. While the city council is deciding whether they like the change or not, groups are forming now to fight for and against it. Those who are against it include Chuck Duffy. He served as a spokesman to Portland Mayor Bud Clark back in the late 1980s. He's part of a group called Partnership for Common Sense Government. He argues the proposed changes are full of problems.
There's no budget, there's no districts, and there's no accountability. For example, the salaries of the officials and the number of staff and PERS benefits and office costs and moving costs, remodeling City Hall, all those costs have not really been defined yet.
On the other side, a group called Building Power for Communities of Color is one of at least 3 who are promoting the change, urging voters to say yes, in part because the changes they believe will allow more communities to be represented on the city council.
We know that historically, this current system has absolutely not worked. It has been overwhelmingly white men. We know from the West Side, East Portland has been dramatically underrepresented. So this system with geographic districts will help to ensure a geographic representation, and ranked choice voting will help to make sure that people are able to, even if they're not in the majority, to express those preferences and be there on council.
We are going to keep doing stories on this because it's a huge deal for Portland, and the election is just exactly 4 months from today. And just like our other stories, I'd love to hear from you. Where do you stand on this? It helps if you're a Portland voter, but even if you're not, shoot me an email. Let me hear from you. Our address is thestory@kgw.com, or if you prefer, a phone call, 503-226-5090.